Hey guys, this is my first creepy pasta I ever made. It is for Halloween coming up this year, 2016, and it's about a group of adults in their 20s sleeping in a haunted mansion. Yeah. Well, with further ado, I'll give you the Baileys. I awoke on a cold, brisk October morning. The smell of baked pumpkin seeds and sweet candy corn filled the air. I then realized it then and there. Today was Halloween. Every single year around Halloween, my best friend, Mike, will get overly excited about his favorite holiday coming up. I mean, I'm telling you, this man would decorate the whole apartment in cheap Halloween decorations as soon as October 1st hit. Mike walked into my room and said, "Bro, I'm gonna get so fucked up tonight at Tyler's Halloween party." I then remembered about the party everyone was talking about at work. Mike and I worked at some rundown Italian restaurant called Luigi's. Man, I swear that place is so disgusting. I remember when I was cooking, I saw a roach run up the wall. Anyways, Tyler told everyone about this huge party he was having over the weekend at his place. Well, today was finally the day of the party. I was a little excited myself, I'll admit. Now I could finally get laid and even drunk. You know Anna will be there, right? Mike said, interrupting my thoughts. Oh yeah, Anna. I had a crush on her for over a year now. Ever since I started working at Luigi's, the server immediately caught my attention with her luscious blonde hair and her beautiful caramel eyes that I always got lost into every time we talked. I never told Anna my feelings because I always was scared of the thought of her seeing me only as a friend, but I didn't care anymore. Tonight was the night I would tell her how I actually felt. Mike's sister, Emily, bust open our apartment's front door, walking in with 4 6-packs of Corona Lights with a Harley Quinn costume. Figures. I bet every single girl at that party will have that same exact costume. Emily said we might as well drink a little before we go to Tyler's Lane party and have a little fun before we get there. Are you crazy? I said, with a joking tone. I'm the one driving you drunks around. I can't be drinking tonight. Ugh, you're such a buzzkill, Johnny, but whatever. A few hours had passed, and Mike and I finally began to get ready for the party. I was going as Deadpool, and he as Superman. When we walked up to Tyler's apartment, we immediately heard loud music coming from the 5th floor. I wouldn't be surprised if one of his neighbors complained to him already. When we walked in, I was surprised at how many people were there. I honestly thought it would be only like 10 or so people looking bored and drinking cheap beer, but it was filled with about 30 people actually dancing and having fun. Tyler walked over to us calling our names. I could tell he was slightly drunk. He came over to us and gave us a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Drunk bastard. I could smell the alcohol all in his breath. He told us to get a bottle of beer and some pizza and join the fun. When I went over to the cooler, I saw Anna awkwardly dancing in the corner. "Hey Anna," I said with an excited voice, giving her a hug. She returned with a smile and said, "Oh hey." We began talking about work, life, and the party. I could see a slight grin of attractiveness as if she was actually into me, but I soon doubted it and blamed it on the beer I was drinking, causing me to think something that wasn't true. Tyler came over to us, interrupting our conversation, saying, Aw, you guys look so cute together, leaning on both of us. Emily and Mike came over as well. Tyler then gave a slight grin of satisfaction. I've got something to tell you guys that'll make this Halloween night a creepy adventure. Follow me to my lair. We all followed him into his room and listened to what he had to say. He told us something I will regret doing for the rest of my life. Do you guys know about the Bailey family that lived on the hill? I think I've heard of them before, Mike said. I remember them being a poor family, and they got instantly wealthy within one night. No one knows how either. Hey, didn't they all die one night? You are correct, Tyler replied with a grin. And the police could not find any suspect, fingerprint, or evidence of who did it or how it happened. All they knew was that the family of four, a mother, father, daughter, and a son, were all found in a home burnt alive. Nothing else had burn marks either. What the hell are you getting at, Tyler? Emily replied. Well, Tyler replied, I was thinking maybe we should all spend the night there. Since it is Halloween and all, I figured we should do something scary. White people, I coughed. They all laughed, asking, what, are you too scared to go, Johnny? Hell yeah, we basically going into a mansion we think is haunted. I agreed anyway, since the girl I wanted was going. We all dispersed to get our supplies for the night and all met back at Tyler's house. Okay guys, all we have to do is spend the night, and whoever is still alive by 9 a.m. wins, laughing at his own sick joke. I had to drive since everyone else was still drunk. Anna, however, just didn't know how to drive. It took about 15 minutes to arrive to the Bailey's house, and I swear, as soon as I got near that house, I sensed a dark presence. The house was actually a huge white mansion. I immediately noticed the withered down for sale sign looked a few years old. That's strange, I thought to myself. This home is absolutely beautiful. But if family of four did die in here, I'd reconsider making this my new home as well. When we got to the front door, Tyler pulled out these weird chain cutters and cracked the doorknob open. When we stepped inside, the air was musty and old. I flicked on my flashlight, and what I saw absolutely amazed me. There were statues everywhere, and the floor was marbled. There was a long white staircase leading upstairs. We all decided to sleep upstairs in case any cops came to investigate to see who was inside of the mansion. I mean, after all, who would want to go up a staircase that they believe was inside of a haunted mansion, no matter what your job was? When we got upstairs, we saw 10 bedrooms. There was enough for each of us to get a room. As we settled down, we all went inside of Mike's room that he chose and joked around and laughed. Tyler decided to call it a night, but before he left, he said, "Alright guys, you know the deal. Whoever is still alive by 9 a.m. wins," laughing as he walked away. "Oh, shut up," Emily snapped. "Well guys, I'm getting a bit tired myself. I'm going to call it a night too." Mike told us he was sleepy as well and was going to bed, and that we should all leave his room because he likes to sleep naked. As Anna and I walked out of Mike's room, she asked if she could stay in the same room as me because the place was starting to creep her out. I know what you guys are thinking, but no, nothing happened. When we both settled in my room, I let Anna take the bed while I took the floor. A few minutes of silence passed, and I finally decided to speak. "Hey Anna, there's something I've been meaning to tell you for a while now," she replied with a nervous tone. "Oh yeah, me too." I heard my heart beating in my chest extremely fast. It sounded like a basketball being dribbled on the court. "Well, Ever since I first saw you, I always had something in the doorway caught my attention. It was a dark figure standing about 6 feet tall. I thought it was Mike trying to scare us, so I immediately said, "Mike, what the fuck?" The figure walked away without saying a word. I got up to check and see who it was, but when I looked out the doorway, no one was there. Damn asshole. I went back inside the room to lay back down. "Is everything okay? Who was that?" Anna asked, worried. "It was just that asshole Mike trying to scare us. Don't even worry about it." "Okay, thanks, Johnny. Now, what were you going to say?" "Well, Anna, ever since I met you, I've always had feelings for you and liked you. I never told you because I was scared you only see me as a friend." The room was silent for what it seemed like minutes. I'm so sorry, Anna. We could just be friends if you like. I respect that." Anna replied, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I just didn't know what to say. Because, you see, I always felt the same way." Immediately after she said that, we both heard a loud scream coming from Emily's room. I rushed out of the door into her room soon after everyone was at Emily's room, asking what the hell had happened. She said a little girl had run into her room and looked at her and smiled with a widespread grin, and then ran towards her bed and then did vanish. Everyone except Tyler looked at her with frightened eyes. Tyler then said, "Bullshit. There's no way in hell that happened. You're just trying to scare us." Tyler laughed. "Let me guess. She had long black hair with a white gown." "Tyler, shut up. I'm not joking," Emily replied. "Whatever. I'm going back to bed," said Tyler, who yawned. The rest of us had stayed in the room. I told Mike and Emily that I saw some man just standing in front of Anna and I's room. I thought it was Mike or Tyler trying to play a joke, but when I looked outside, out of the door, no one was there. "I think we should just leave now, guys. This was a stupid idea to begin with." We all agreed and decided to tell Tyler. We all packed our bags and walked into Tyler's room. When we walked in, I felt as if I was frozen in time. My heart felt as if it was beating 5 times as hard, trying to escape out of my chest. As soon as we walked in, we saw the dark figure of a lady standing on top of what was now Tyler's bloody corpse. His face was shredded to pieces and his nails were bloody as if he struggled to escape his fate. The woman then looked up immediately and screamed so loud in a volume I never knew was possible to reach. The wooden floor then began to split open. A bright light emitted from the hole that was being created. The room then began to heat up unexpectedly, and I swear I saw flames emitting from the hole. The smell of burning sulfur was so strong, we all coughed and wheezed. The woman then said, "Your friend is coming to the pits of hell with me, to where he'll burn for eternity with the almighty and powerful Lucifer, Satan, devil, whatever you would like to call him, for he is the most powerful being of all, and is my creator." Her voice was demonic and loud. She then dragged Tyler's bloody corpse to the pits of hell. The room was quiet for what it seemed like an eternity. We had no idea what to say. We were shocked at what just happened. I then broke the silence and said, "We need to get out of here, guys. Fast." We then all ran out of the room and down the stairs. We began to hear footsteps coming upstairs, so we had to run back from the chair we just came from. Rushing upstairs into my room, no one had no idea what to do. Mike then said, "The vents in this house should be big enough for us to comfortably climb through and escape to downstairs." We all agreed and decided to go to the bathroom and climb through the vents. We just left our bags because they weren't important in our current situation. As we walked in the bathroom, I realized Mike was correct. The vents were large enough for us to fit through. When we hopped into the vents, we crawled quietly as possible, but fast enough so we can get out of this house. 5 minutes into crawling, Emily stopped us in our tracks, asking, "Hey guys, do you hear that?" I turned my flashlight and said, "No, what are you talking about?" But as I flashed my light behind all of us, there, stooped on all fours, was a boy. All of a sudden, he slammed Emily down on the hard metal and began ripping her face to shreds, leaving a bloody, mangled mess. The sight was enough to make the three of us vomit. The boy then looked up and smiled at us with a sickly grin. All three of us had to get away, so we crawled away fast as possible, but the boy was fast. I then began to hear loose screws coming from underneath us. We then fell to the floor of the basement. The sound of bones cracking echoed through my ear. I felt pain shoot through my arm. Mike and Anna's voice began to come through. They were screaming in pain. Mike had broke his leg. Anna had broke her arm. I tried to get up from the floor. As my hand touched the floor, I felt something sticky and wet. I lifted my fingers and sniffed my hand. "Iron," I whispered. Turning my flashlight on, we all saw what the substance was. It was fresh blood, painted into what it seemed like to be a star. We then began to hear footsteps coming from the stairs. 4 dark figures in robes emerged from the stairwell. They were chanting in a language I never heard before, and I'm pretty sure the others didn't hear it before either. The floor then began to violently shake, and it cracked open until a pit formed. The ferocious flames were coming out of the hole. The woman we saw from upstairs spoke and said, for them to escape the pits of hell, they needed 2 more sacrifices to replace their souls. "Like hell we will," I replied. "We're all leaving this place together." Mike then spoke up, with groans of pain in his voice. "Johnny, just run. I'll be their distraction." But Mike, "No!" he shouted. "Just run!" Anna and I just stared, not knowing what to say or do. My best friend Mike, "I can't just leave him here." "Just run!" Anna and I just stared and just ran upstairs. I looked back one last time and saw Mike and Anna's bloody corpse being dragged into the pits of hell. The Baileys then began chasing us. Finally, we made it to the front door. The doorknob would not budge an inch. I looked over to Anna and she had tears streaming down her face. I looked into the back of us. The Baileys were nearly 20 feet away. I remembered Tyler's chain cutters. "Yes!" I shouted. They were still in the corner where he had left them. When the doorknob finally cracked open, we rushed to the car with a stamina I never knew we had before. When we got in the car, I cut on the engine. The sound of the engine purring relaxed me for a few seconds. Anna immediately snapped me back into reality, and I remembered our current situation. "John, drive!" she shouted. I looked in the back of us, and the Baileys were nearly 3 feet in front of the car. I gassed the engine with all my might. We drove 100 miles per hour away from that home. I looked back one last time, and I saw the Baileys standing on their front yard, just staring and watching us drive away. To this day, I regret my decision of going to that house. And to this day, no one has ever bought that home. God bless the soul, whoever buys that house.